What's up, guys? It's Jay with Beard Dad Fishing, and I got my boy Jake from Jake Stem Fishing with me. He's gonna help me do an install. We're gonna install this Yak Power system on this Old Town Sportsman PDL 120. A while back, I installed the 5-gang switch, but we're gonna upgrade it to an 8-gang. Plus, we're upgrading the lights, adding a wireless phone charger, and a couple other goodies. But first, dad joke of the day. What do you call a song about a tortilla? A rap. All right, so we're gonna install this Yak Power system. Again, this is the 8-gang switch that we have. We're upgrading it because we have the original Bluetooth 5-gang switch on this Old Town. We're gonna add another power plug for the live scope. We're also adding navigation lights because the current lights on here are both green on the bow, and I'm adding a motor in a couple weeks. So this is what we need. We're gonna be fixing up one of the button lights. Yak Power has an awesome warranty, so they sent me the replacement, so we're getting that bad boy on there. We also have a wireless phone charger that I'm super excited about. This thing is gonna be clean. And lastly, we're gonna get a USB charger with a voltometer, right? Voltmeter, whatever. We're gonna get it on there, and this is gonna be charging our GoPro while we're out on the water. So the install itself, it's gonna be very simple. So the things we need for this install: a drill, a step bit is very helpful, some dielectric grease, waterproof silicone, and of course the gear. When you buy the Yak Power setup, you can also buy these little Y pigtails so that you can add multiple things. Like we're adding the lights onto one button. And you can also add obviously additional button lights, which maybe we'll add on some more button lights as well. So right now we're drawing the power from the front hatch. So I keep this 50 amp battery right in here. I actually got a new 50 amp coming from Lead Time that'll be powering this entire setup, which I'm really excited about. That'll be in this big front hatch. We have currently a button light on the front. We have one on the back. This is the one right here that needs to get replaced, which will do that. We also have the USB plug here, which we're gonna use as the phone charger, and add another USB plug right over here to power up the GoPro. We have the bow lights as well, which we will be taking these off and adding the navigation lights on either side. And we have bow light or button lights on the back here. Gonna add a plug somewhere in here for the live scope portable system that I have. Shouldn't be too hard of an install. I got my guy over here. He's the real professional, and he's gonna make it happen. So like I said, we're adding nav lights. They are gonna be a little bit shorter, but as you see on the ends here, there's a little screw, so we'll just cover that. So that's the size comparison between the nav lights and the current lights. So just a hair smaller.
Yeah, so for that screw, I'm probably just literally gonna undo it, put silicone in, and keep it in there instead of trying to patch it. Biggest thing, guys, if you're running a motor, is nav lights are legally have to be had. One thing we forgot to mention is a good way to clean up your kayak before you do installs is just getting some rubbing alcohol, cleaning the surface, especially getting all that old 3M off there.
So this is the old switch that we are replacing. Currently got 4 of the 5 in use: bow lights, mid lights, fish finder, and GoPro charger in there. So right now Jake is pulling out the light cords for the bow lights, and these things come with plenty of footage, so you can wire up your entire kayak.
Yeah, that's all the extra. So plenty of wire.
Yeah, because we're going at least 8 feet back, and it's still like a whole bundle that's not used, so you could rig up any kayak.
You want to be super careful and just take your time when backing out, because again, the threads on here you actually make into crate in the kayak when you put it in. When you go to put the next one in, go backwards first until it clips into, you'll feel it go into the old threads, so that way you don't add additional threads and then it breaks the old ones and then you have stripped. Just like that. And this one was issued. This one Jay broke somehow, so that's on Jay.
That's probably why it wasn't working.
So usually that, yeah, that doesn't come out like that. Alrighty, so both these are the same, one for each side. So you just want to, they are connected here. We're gonna put one side through in here and deconnect it, unconnect it first, put it through this side, and then we'll reconnect it once we got it in the kayak.
Look at Jake doing his Papi Juice thing. So the reason we call Jake Papi Juice, by the way, that's gonna be his trademark name.
Apparently.
Because he got the juice, bro. He wins tournaments like all the time. He almost won the Hobie VOS.
I didn't almost win. I almost got 4th.
He almost got 4th.
I have a good success locally, I would say, but still, I mean, those big trails, you're fishing the best of the best in the country. They ain't easy.
But they ain't Papi Juice either.
All right, so one thing you guys want to make sure when putting these on is make sure you put the colors on the right side, because legally green and red have to go on the certain front portion of it. So red's gonna go on left, green's gonna go on right. So always make sure that is correct before you go sticking the 3M tape on. So yeah, I kind of like the way their logo is. I almost feel like this has to be red because it's gonna go down that side of the kayak. And this one, oh, look at that. Answers our question, red and green.
Boom.
There you go. Do we want to Google and double check that green goes on right?
We're going to confirm with Google that the red goes on the left. We have confirmed with the all-knowing Google. This is the way it goes. So if you're unsure, use technology.
Now, the last time Jay put these on with Vern, they had very nice 1-inch blue tape to make sure it was level. I don't have 1-inch blue tape, so we're just gonna eye it up.
Eyeball this.
Eyeball it. And we're just gonna eyeball it up. Just like that. Last thing to do is add that little screw with a little bit of silicone. That side's done.
Easy peasy. You're supposed to say lemon squeezy, bro.
Lemon squeezy, bro.
There you go. The great thing about the Yak Power system is that it's totally customizable. So if you go on their website, you can build your system based on what you needed, from how long you want your power cord, how many plugs you want, how many USB plugs, how many lights, all that stuff. So that's the great thing about it. It's totally built to your specific kayak. Clean, bro. One side done.
That's it. Easy as pie.
So about half the size is the original lights, but it doesn't, you can't even tell that little screws in there, so it doesn't even, it looks good, man. One thing I would have changed from the original install if I went back was I would just put these strip lights on the top side of this line. Although, like Jay said, these are way above the water line because the water line is like around here, so it doesn't cause any issues. But if I could do this again, I would probably put them up front and a little bit higher, just to have a little bit more of that assurance. And if you're scared of putting holes in your kayak,
get used to it.
Just do it, bro.
just get used to it.
The first holes I ever put on this kayak was for this track right here. It's the first thing I did, and that's 14 screws. And I remember vividly because I was like freaking out, panicking about 14 screw holes in there. But since then, I've put at least a dozen other holes. It gets easier as you go on.
And when you upgrade kayaks, there's a lot less holes because you know what you're doing next time.
That's right. There's a ton of excess wire, as you can see right in here. So have zip ties. Cable management is important. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a nasty mess of stuff. A little dielectric grease goes a long way. It does come with it, but always have some extra, because what this does is it helps protect your electronics from corrosion on the water, because everything will get wet. Even if your kayak's watertight, your connections are watertight, it still will get wet. So little dielectric grease will help things tremendously.
So we're just gonna run this back down and connect it to the new head power unit.
We're fishing for cables in here. The smart thing would be to get a wire and fish it through, but here we are.
There you go.
No, I don't feel it at all. I think it's going like sideways. So we used cardboard. Jerry rigged it because my arm was not long enough. Work harder, work smarter.
Not harder.
Work smarter, not harder. All right, so we got this. So what we'll do at the end is we'll clean everything up at the end. This is the old system. Again, the 5-gang switch, and I have everything already still connected. So we're just gonna bring the new one in here and then bring the connections over onto it. I made a little list of what we're gonna have. So the M is gonna be the midship lights. You like my spelling? It's Litz. The midship lights. S is gonna be for the scope, nav lights. 1 will be the fish finder, 2 will be the USB, which actually will go to the GoPro, and 3 will be the phone charger. So we're gonna have 2 empty spots still, which will be the anchor button and the B. We don't have anything for it yet, but I'll find something to put on there at some point. So one of the big differences between the 8 gang and the 5 gang that we have, this one works off of a Bluetooth remote, which I usually would just put on my track. This 8 gang switch works off of a wired remote. So we're gonna have to make a little hole for this control that goes into this 8 gang switch. So you see it's significantly larger, but you get a lot more juice out of it. You can connect a lot more things. So guys that have power poles or multiple power poles, they have multiple GoPros, multiple lights, something like that is definitely worth the little bit of extra money that it costs so that you can run everything off of one system. This is gonna go right here. So it'll be right under my seat. I can still reach down there. So we didn't have to do any changes on the power side of things. Jake references a couple of times that my original video, if you're doing a full install from the beginning, check out that video because I go over how to install the battery terminals for the power on this system. So I just plugged in the battery so that we could test things out.
And then right here's where the power comes in and connects to the head unit. And then this is also now the switch that'll get mounted up over there, but we're just gonna test to make sure those lights work. Oh, I just turned them off. There you go. Nice and bright, clean, looks good.
In classic Poppy Juice style. All right, so the nav lights are good.
Next thing I wanna do is take out this bad button light right here. I'm gonna take out that old one, replace it with a new one. That one's actually a pretty quick, simple fix. The rest of them are good, just that one we gotta replace. You guys will need a 5/8 socket to get this out, but I lost mine, so that's why I have a wrench. But I already literally loosened it up earlier. But it's a little nicer with a socket. Just like that. So now we're gonna pull it out, detach it, and then we'll put the new one on.
We got the old one out, just putting the new one in.
I'm gonna feed this one and then probably reach at it from the front and attach it to our handy dandy cardboard and then feed it back.
This is pro level tip right here, man. You don't see pros doing this. That's because this is master level type of engineering right here. Cardboard fishing. It looks like a mess right now, but it's gonna look so clean. Look how big that is.
Like everything else, little silicone right up on this light, and then we're gonna again back start it till you feel it go into the threads, and then use a 5/8 socket. Like I said, I lost mine, so I have a wrench, and just tighten it up nice and snug.
And you don't want to over tighten because then you're gonna end up stripping the hole, and that's a whole nother headache you don't want.
I need the tape. Come on, Jay, give me the tape. Hook this bad boy up and feed it back down.
I'm playing assistant today.
Yes, he's doing a great job. 10 out of 10. And now we're gonna feed this sucker back down through.
Got it. And just like that, got it in here. But we still have a lot of stuff we have to switch over from this to that. And we're probably gonna get this. I'm gonna try to find a board to put this on so it could sit up a little bit higher. Woo, we got light. So this was the bad one. Now it's working. So when you're putting the button lights on the deck, another thing is these are really bright, especially when it's dark out. So try not to put them like where it's super like facing you, because there's guys I've seen online that put them facing them and they're just like blinded all night long.
Blinded by the light.
So you want to put them on the side, just like that. Some guys put them a little bit under their chair so they can see under their chair, and then some guys, depending on the size of the tank well, will put another set out in the back as well.
Alrighty guys, so we got number 1 here from the old head unit. This is for his fish finder, and it's easy as literally it's already wired up from Fernando. Did an awesome job, and we're just gonna plug it into this one.
Shout out to Fern.
Shout out Fern.
I miss my boy Fern. He lives in Georgia now.
Okay, let's test out the fish finder.
Oof, she's pretty. There we go. Oof. All right, so fish finder's working. Button light's working. Navigation light's working. Money.
So 2 was for what Jay used for his GoPro, but we have a brand new product from Yak Power that we're about to rig up to this.
So one of the cool products from Yak Power that's brand new is the wireless phone charger. So the way they set it up is actually really cool. It fits really big phones as well. I have the iPhone 14 Pro Max and it fits in here beautifully. So it adjusts to whatever size phone. Again, huge phone. You set it in there and it has a little button. Let me see if I can show you guys. It has a little button. So once you press it, it closes down and that's how it cinches on your phone. So once you put it in there, you press it down and now it's not going anywhere. So super tight fit, great for, again, big phones. You can use it for recording content on the water, FaceTime, streaming, whatever it is. So it works great. So we're gonna put this right on our rail. That way the phone's always close. It's exactly where we wanna get it. We already have that power plug, like Jake said, installed in there from the last time we ran the install. So it's SAE plug right in there and that's it. So super, super simple. So if you do have a phone case that doesn't allow, or a phone that doesn't allow for wireless charging, it also has a USB-C plug on the bottom. That way you can charge your phone. That if it does, again, if it doesn't allow wireless charging, it has that USB-C plug right there, so you can run power from here to your phone and you're golden. So this is the mount that it comes with. It's just a little like T-bolt attachment to a little bolt. If you get the Yak Power version with the wireless remote, it uses the same exact connector as well. So you just put the bolt through the bottom of the plate and you screw on your little T-bolt. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide it on the track and then tighten it up with a Phillips head exactly where we want it. So we'll tighten it up. Has this gooseneck attachment as well. So this is the part that will clip on and off here. And just like that, you just pinch the little tabs if you want to take it off.
It's like one of those GoPro attachments.
Yep, same thing. It is a short cable, so make sure wherever you have your plug that it's not too far from the charger. And that's it. So we're gonna put the phone on there and see if it's charging. So we got number 2. Oh, money. This is really cool, and the fact that you can put it anywhere you want. So I got it right next to my fish finder. Just again, you're gonna need to get that SAE power plug close to this wireless phone charger, because it's not much cord, but again, that's kind of a gift at the same time because there's so much cordage everywhere else anyways. But this attachment right here, money. Now that the phone charger is in, we're gonna put in the USB with the voltometer on it. So this actually has the USB-C and USB standard on there, just like this. So again, really nifty to use. If you don't have the phone charger and you want to charge your phone, like something like that would be perfect. It does come with a back nut, just like this. So you want to get it in a spot that you can reach your arm into the hole to put that nut on the back side of it, just to give it extra reinforcement and secure it on your kayak.
So the plate right here will, once it goes through, it'll keep it from going into the kayak, but if you don't put this backing nut on it, it's literally just gonna pop out. So you really want to, I mean, if you can't reach where you put it, you can maybe super glue on the back here and stick it on, but realistically, you definitely wanna put where you can put this backing nut in. I just slid it off the wires here, so when we drill the hole, but we're gonna put it probably right here because this is where Jay likes to run his GoPro a lot. We kind of just put all this stuff, the graph doesn't, I think, usually go there, but just for showing everything, that's where it's at now.
So we'll put it right here, which is accessible from this hole. I can reach right there and get that nut on there.
And what you're gonna need is a step-up bit. It's an 1 1/8". I just put a little tape on there just to mark the 1 1/8". You never wanna go too big. Just a hack there to make sure you don't go over. But you wanna start with a smaller drill bit to get this started, and then you wanna use the whole bit and step up to an 1 1/8". which is a big hole in a kayak, but hey, gotta charge stuff.
We're gonna start off with a pilot hole first with a small drill bit, and then get that big boy in there. 1 1/8 inches is not a small hole, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're squeamish about putting holes in your kayak, don't do this. Sucks you don't come out the other side.
Yeah, dude.
Got the pilot hole in. Now we're going with the big boy.
Yes, I'm a Milwaukee guy. Sorry, DeWalt. I know Fern was a DeWalt guy, but
Yes, I'm a Ryobi guy.
Ryobi.
Yeah, bro, it's cheaper.
That's true. There we go.
Biggest hole in the kayak yet. So we need the plate first.
Plate, then go through. Then once you go through and get the other end, then you have to go put the nut back on that and feed that back all the way up through. There you go. Manhandle it. The nut back through, and then Jay's gonna screw the nut back onto the back of it.
Simple, and it looks nice, man. So we have the USB plug fully installed, got the nut on the back end, so totally waterproof. We're gonna go turn it on. This also is a voltometer, so it tells you the voltage coming through there. So let's turn this bad boy on. That's it, super simple, looks clean. Again, perfect for charging your phone, charging your GoPros, whatever it is you need. The last thing we're gonna install is the power plug, which Jake is opening up right now. Put the black pack back in here just to make sure we know where we wanna put it. So that's gonna power up my live scope unit. Again, if you guys wanna see how we built that portable live scope unit, I'll link the video down below. It allows you to take your live scope from kayak to kayak, kayak to boat, all that good stuff. So again, we put this black pack on there just to make sure the plug is gonna sit somewhere protected. So Jake's great idea was to put it right here, because no matter how far up my black pack goes, it's not gonna bump into it, it's not gonna crimp it up. And
you want a straight connection too. You don't really want to be bending this, especially down in here. So you really want a straight connection. So I think it looks like right now we can literally snug it right up in there.
So this plug requires a 3/4 inch hole, so smaller than, much smaller than the hole we did for the USB plug.
Just like that.
Money.
Money. Use the 2 screws they provide, which are self-tappers, so you can just use it with the screwdriver, add a little silicone, and that thing is done.
Power plug is installed exactly where we want it, out of the way. We have to install the remote as well, which we're gonna put right here on a nice flat surface by the chair. Woo! Got it, man. Yeah, that's clean right there. The great thing about this type of remote is that you don't have to worry about running out of juice to power it. With the Bluetooth remote for the smaller systems, sometimes you run out of battery. That's what happens. But with this one, since it's powered, it's wired, you don't gotta worry about it. Guest appearance by my dad, Mr. Valentin, the original. Remote's plugged in, looking clean. You could still connect to this system via Bluetooth, by the way. So if you download the app and for some reason your remote's not working and you don't feel like using it, you can download the app and connect to all these via Bluetooth, which is super convenient. Now is the fun part, which is cable management. Look at all this. Woo, that's a lot. So we don't want it looking all nasty and gross. If there's one thing that Fern taught me, is cable management is the most important part. make it look clean, and then we'll do one final walkthrough so you guys can see. But in the meantime, great thing about Yak Power is that it's totally customizable to your specific needs, and they have a build your own system where it gives you a discount depending on how much you add to your kit. So the price is gonna come out better if you order online with them as well. And make sure when you guys order, use discount code BDF5 for 5% off your order. Again, BDF5, 5% off your lights, your system, your plugs, your phone charger, whatever it is. All right, so we're gonna do a final walkthrough. We got everything mounted and ready. Of course, we have the full 8-gang switch, Yak Power. I actually mounted it onto this cutting board that cut in half. My wife just brought this cutting board home like 2 days ago. So she's gonna see this video. Babe, I'm sorry, we used it for this install. Love you, but we got it situated. We have the plug in the back here for the live scope. We replaced the button light as well that we needed to. We got the controller in, which the button lights is M. So we got 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. We have the fish finder up and running. Number 1, once you hit it, it turns on. We have the wireless phone charger, which is one of my favorite things. This thing is super handy to have. Charges on the water, and if your phone doesn't accept wireless charging, has a USB plug right there, so you can charge it on the water anyways. We also installed the USB plug. Again, you got your standard USB, you have your USB-C. Once you turn that on, the voltometer comes on, and we have the bow lights as well, the navigation lights, which we have the green on one side, we have the red on the other, and they fit in just perfect. We were able to replace those longer strip lights with these. It looks clean. It's needed if you have a motor, so definitely get it. Well, make sure you follow Jake on his social medias as well. We'll post it all down below. Poppy Juice, helping the boy out. And check out the install video right here. So till next time, guys, peace and God bless.